Welcome in. I am CBG, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You got to click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday for this live stream. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and TradingView. It's one word. It is Crypto Bull God. Oh, hold on. Crush the thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate the support, guys. Everybody chill, relax, right? Here's what you need to do. Pop yourself a little bubbly, a little refreshing carbonated water, and relax. We're getting a little bit of volatility today. We did anticipate volatility coming into the market. Tank top to scare the bears. No, just decided to this is just what I felt like wearing, to be honest with you. But I bet they are frightened though, Brian. Yeah, guys, we're definitely getting some volatility to the downside, but there isn't anything structurally in the chart that's changed. We're going to take a look at that. I am going to, as always, share with you my honest assessment of what's going on right now. I have not been closely following the charts today, so some of the charts that we're going to be taking a look at, most of the charts that we're going to be taking a look at will be charts that I haven't evaluated at all today, but what we're going to look for is if key areas of price confluence are holding as areas of support and which areas are beginning to fail as support, breaking down and could formulate as resistance. We'll take a look at some key moving averages and ask the question if we're still maintaining ourselves above those key moving averages. So with that being said, let's get into it. I don't know how much time we'll have for Q&A today. I do want to make sure that I cover a few key charts today. Thank you for everyone new tuning in. Actually, before we jump to this, I did want to thank everyone who tuned in yesterday in particular. Got a decent, strong showing for the live stream. I would say we had about 3 times as many people show up for the live stream yesterday as we typically do at peak times. If you actually look at the amount of views on that live stream, I mean, it's like a 5-fold increase over what I typically see on a live stream. So definitely a strong showing of support there, and appreciated Kush coming on. He did a great job. Vivek, thank you for the positive feedback. We're going to get into your question. Guys, 12-hour chart. Now, a couple things to see that are going on in this chart. First off, this trend line, okay, that we had drawn here, this has broken, all right? That is obviously not bullish, so that is not what we want to see, right? Now, a lot of times when you have an ascending line like this and it breaks, sometimes what likes to happen once we find our base down here in this area and we come up, you can sometimes see this downward area of what was once support will actually begin to act as resistance. So that's something that I'm going to be watching for. I'm going to keep the line up there. But the more important thing for me, I'm not as concerned about the ascending line that's coming up here. I'm more concerned about key moving averages and key areas of price confluence, okay? On this 12-hour chart, one of the things that I have been adamant about is not because it's my emotional opinion, it's because historically it's what has happened when Bitcoin is making these bullish impulsive wave movements to the upside. I have spoken to the historical significance of the 200 simple moving average and the 50 simple moving average. And I said to you guys way back here when we got this golden cross, okay? I said, hold your horses. We need to see the 200 curl up, and we need to see the 50 also continue to curl up, but this is a very good sign. And thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. I don't see a lot of thumbs up at the moment. And we got that. Now, historically, what that has, just as a refresher on this, historically, once we get that golden cross on the 250 on the 12-hour, and both moving averages are moving up, typically what likes to happen is price at different points may come down to the 200 simple moving average, and we'll use a zone around the 200 simple moving average, but it typically likes to come down and respond accordingly. We're down here perhaps for a few candlesticks, and then we have a strong impulsive wave movement to the upside, okay? This was a little bit of a deviation. We were down here for a little bit longer, but still, we had strong price reaction around the moving average. We didn't hang out here too long, ended up getting a fake out of a death cross here and then continued moving up. But the point is, if this is truly if back here, okay, when we made this impulsive movement up here from 15,000 all the way up to 25,000, okay, if this is truly the start of this fifth and final wave that will result in a blow-off all-time high in Bitcoin that I've been talking about forever, Kush shared very similar sentiments yesterday. If that's true, then you're not going to see, the bottom line is on this chart, okay, when we're assessing current price action right here, the most important thing to pay attention to is we should not see this. We should not see lower lows and lower highs continue to come in here and see a significant death cross here. Now that we are below the 200 simple moving average on the 12-hour chart, I am expecting some sort of strong reactionary price movement to the upside in the coming days here. I do not see us hanging out below the 200 simple moving average on this chart right now in the 12 hours at 28,500. I do not anticipate us hanging out below 28,500 for long. I'm not saying tomorrow we will immediately bounce up, but I would be very surprised if by next week we don't see some sort of strong reactionary price to the upside. And as I had said today, I was on Twitter a little bit. As I had said, I commented on Tony the Bull BTC. I commented on one of his charts that he had shared, and I said that the news follows the charts, as I've said on this channel before. So as doom and gloom as everything seems right now, again, I am always open to the possibility of being wrong because I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again, right? But it is my strong sense, based on all of the charts we've been evaluating on this channel, based on the current market sentiment and where we're sitting right now in terms of a cycle, that a lot of this negative news that you're hearing about is going to be washed away by some positive news catalyst that people can turn to a narrative and say prices responding accordingly and moving back to the upside. The only way I would start to become nervous on the 12-hour is if we hang out here for an extended period of time and we start doing this. We could even, quite honestly, all next week, we could gravitate, quite honestly, we could stay between 28,500 and 27,500 for a week, and that would not be concerning because you wouldn't be getting these lower lows and lower highs coming in, and you wouldn't get that significant death cross. But I would expect, I'm just using history as a predicator for what I anticipate moving forward. I would anticipate strong reactionary price within, the next week or so. What else did I want to mention on this chart? The other thing I wanted to mention on this chart is that I have a significant area of price confluence at 27,500. You can see the low today. This is on Bitstamp. You can see the low today. We went down to 27,502, okay? So $27,000 is another key area of price confluence. If I had to draw if we break 27,500, where could price go next? Let me take this off. On the 12-hour chart, I'm seeing another area of price confluence right around. And again, it wouldn't shock me one bit. I've just been here for too long. That would really flush a lot of people out. But I would not be even surprised to see a volatility wick go as low as something close to 26,200 and spike right back up. If we try to look for other areas of price confluence, any divergences we should be aware of? No. The other thing, actually, real quick, before we hop off the 12-hour chart, another thing I've spoken to is that historically, I don't know if it's really historically, but at least in our last impulsive wave movement up for our wave 3 top in 2021, I had noted that once we started to really get that bullish momentum pick up in Bitcoin, and we had our golden cross on the 12-hour, we didn't see RSI. There was only one time it deviated below 30 on the RSI. And you can see back here, we got that deviation, okay, back in March of this year, and it looks like we're starting to deviate again. So I would anticipate the RSI to pick up at some point. We shouldn't remain oversold for too long on the 12 hours. So that's something else I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Now, other areas of price confluence, right? Is there anything else that could point to us possibly wicking as low as 26,000? I'm going to call this 300 actually. Let's use a nice round figure. We don't get too cute on this channel. Again, as always, I'm just trying to keep things really stupid simple for you guys. I'm not putting up overly complicated charts. I'm trying to also, one of the things, I'm not sure if you're picking up on this, but one of the things I'm also attempting to do is to look at Bitcoin on a couple different time frames and identify if between those few time frames, the 12-hour, the daily, the 3-day, and the weekly, those are the 4 charts we're going to take a look at, are there common levels of price confluence between all 4 charts? Example, if I could find price confluence at 27,500 on all 4 charts, probably a strong sign that 27,500 is going to be a strong area to bounce, right? As an example. So I got 27,500 that we have currently bounced off of, as well as 26,300. Now, if we go to the daily, and Vivek was pointing to this, this is the 200 simple moving average. Would not shock me one bit to get price action now that we're so close to the 200 simple moving average. I think the odds are in the favor that we hit this level here at 27,000, looks like 27,280. So we could get some sort of volatility wick getting in this area. Price could gravitate here, maybe hang out here for several days before we start to bounce back up. But again, what you don't, that's fine. That is not concerning. What would start to get concerning on the daily, okay? I am always going to keep things 100% real with everyone. What would concern me on the daily chart, again, it's not losing this ascending line of support here. That is not what would concern me. What would concern me is if we start to get daily closes below this line, right? Now, for the time being, the 200 simple moving average is continuing to move up, right? If we look at a week ago, today's the 17th, if we go on August 10th as an example, the 200 simple moving average was at 27,072. Today it sits at 27,280, right? So it's increased $208, right? So as we continue, as long as price doesn't strongly deviate to the downside, this 200 simple moving average is going to continue. Now it's going to, based on recent price action, it's not increasing at such an accelerated rate, but it's still going to be in this $27,300, $27,400 range. So what you don't want to see on the daily, it's not volatility wicks. I don't care if during a day we get volatility wicks that go below this line. I could care less about that. What I do care about is if we start to get candle bodies that are closing below the 200 simple moving average. Why would I be concerned about that? You know, if you've been subscribed to this channel for a long time, if you're above a moving average, it acts as support. If you start to get candle body closes, not price wicks, candle body closes that close below a moving average, it acts as resistance, okay? So that's why I don't want to see that. It doesn't matter how bullish I am on crypto and what my expectations are going into the end of this year and going into the halving, which you guys should know by now. If we start to get daily closes below the 200, it's going to make me pause and express some concern. Now, what are we doing on price indicators? RSI is all the way down at 27, and MACD is going down. Now, let's go to the weekly. Now, the weekly, the higher up in time frame we go, this is a point that I've hit on multiple times. Thumbs up, everybody. Appreciate the support. The higher the time frame we move, okay, the more significant the more important the chart is, okay? Meaning, just to give you an example, if we go to a really low time frame like a 4-hour chart, it's not as important to pick up on what price is doing as it is on a weekly. You know, if we start closing below key moving averages on a weekly chart, that's much more bearish than closing below moving averages on a 4-hour chart, okay? So, looking at the weekly, what can we ascertain? Been using that word ascertain a lot. Don't know if you picked that up. What can we ascertain from this chart, okay? The pink line is the 200 simple moving average. The purple line is the 50 simple moving average. Right now, we're above the 200, and that is the main thing that you want to watch for. We can look at the price indicators. Yeah, we have the MACD going down, all this stuff, stochastic RSI. The number one thing I want you guys to watch for on a weekly chart is the 200 simple moving average. Do we close above 27,400? So we do have a couple areas of price confluence here that are matching up. Has anyone picked up on this yet? And it doesn't have to be a perfect area. But on the weekly, the key area, we're going to call it 27,400. If we go to the daily, the key is 27,300. If we go to the 12-hour chart, the key is 27,500. So we have identified three charts at this point that are telling us around 27,500 to 27,300. That's a monumental area that we want to see hold as support. We start getting daily and weekly closes below that level, there is reason to be concerned. There is absolutely reason to be concerned. So we want to hold this area. That region, 27.3 to 27.5, is very important. If there's one thing you could take away from today's live stream, that is the thing I want you to take away from it. Now, there's one other time frame we have not looked at, which I mentioned, which is the Bitcoin 3-day. What are we specifically going to look at on the Bitcoin 3-day? Well, actually, we'll probably look at three things now that I think about it. But there is a value-added view that I have attempted to share with the community that no one else has spoken to. And that is the Bitcoin 3-day chart using the 125 simple moving average. Quick refresher, when we have significant price action below, it's very bearish. Once we break above with candle body closes and get back above this 125 simple moving average, monumental rise in price. Significantly below, very bearish. We close above it, significantly bullish. We close below it, many candlesticks, we get back above it, monumentally bullish, huge move. Significant price action below. Now we've gotten above it. Now, in the past, when this happens, not only do we see a monumental move in price, but the other thing to watch for is this 125 simple moving average acts as an area of support. This 125 simple moving average is also sloping up. So it's going to continue to increase in value. We have a new candlestick printing on Sunday. So we still have, this candlestick here, this most recent candlestick will be comprised of today, Friday, and Saturday. I wouldn't anticipate it to look this red. I would anticipate somewhat of a wick coming in here. So we'll have to see. But this 125 simple moving average is beginning to turn up, okay? And like I said, in the past, once we close back above this key moving average, we may come down all the way as low as here, but it should act as an area of support. This chart, in terms of that moving average, this thing is all the way right now. By the time we get our next print, let's actually try to theorize where this could print next, 23.45. So it'll be right around 23,600. Meaning we could have some sort of significant drop into the $24,000 to $23,000 range, and we would still be okay. It would not be the most bullish thing for price. But what I want people to keep in mind, it bothered me, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to publish a Caspa video for tomorrow, but somebody was trying to indicate on the chart for Caspa that if Caspa I'll have to reread the tweet. I don't want to misquote it. But if Caspa dropped to 3.5 cents, how bearish it was. Fuck no, it's not bearish. Like, what are you talking about? The question you have to ask yourself is the chart still forming higher highs and higher lows? We have a low here, a higher low here. And even if we came all the way down to here, I understand this is a higher low relative to here, but we could come all the way down to here. There would be a little bit of concern if we did take this out, but we still have my mouse is getting screwed up, and this chart is getting screwed up. Even if we came all the way down to this level at 24,000, okay? Yes, I understood. We took out this higher low, but guess what? We still have higher lows. There's still higher lows. There's still higher highs. Like, it's not overly concerning. There's a little bit of concern because we took out this move right here, but it's not overly concerning to me, okay? The other thing that I wanted to take a look at, now that I brought up the 3-day, something else I want to take a look at. really quick with you guys. We had that golden cross coming in. I want to see how price action is responding. Where the heck are we at here? I'm losing my bearings. Thank you to everyone new tuning. And if you could show a little bit of support, if you hide the comments, you can actually hit the thumbs up, which really helps me as a content creator. I hate having to always say hit the thumbs up, but it's just the reality. A lot of people, for some reason, just don't do it, and it doesn't help the channel from a getting out there and sharing with more people perspective. So not good movement on the D. This is the, I was confused if it's the ADX or DI. Which one is the, okay, so this is the DI. Not good movement on the DI. Anytime you have the red cross above the green like that, not good to see. Price indicators on the 3-day aren't looking great. Now, price action is king. So what do I want to see out of the 3-day? I'll tell you what I don't want to see out of the 3-day. This is, if there's one thing you want to watch for on the 3-day that could spell some trouble, I think it's rather intuitive and obvious what I'm probably going to say for those chartists out there. But we just got a golden cross, right? I can take this line out because the whole point was on an earlier live stream, I had projected out a couple months ago that we were going to have a golden cross on July 30th, and we ended up getting it August 2nd with that. I was one candlestick off, and the whole point of that was to say, don't let anyone convince you need to purchase something to project out moving averages. You can project that shit yourself. Don't pay money for that. It's absolutely fucking silly. Anyway, we just got our golden cross, right? What would be bearish for this chart? What do I not want to see? I don't care. This current candlestick, which again is going to be comprised of today's price action, tomorrow's price action, and Saturday's price action. I don't care if we wick below here. I don't care if we come all the way down to 26,700. I could care less. But by the time this thing prints on Saturday, I need to see this thing hold up above the 200. Because if we start getting let me just be clear about this. If we start getting candle body closes below the 200, not only is the 200 not going to, as a result of that, flatten out and increase at the rate we want to see, okay? Now the 200 is going to act as resistance. It's going to be harder to break back above it. And now, even though we had this golden cross, this 50 simple moving average is going to want to start to curl back down, and we could get a death cross, right? So we don't want to see that on the 3-day. We've made such significant, we've taken such a significant step move forward as the bulls, getting this golden cross, having this monumental rise in price, right? The last thing we want to do on the 3-day chart is start to get candle body closes that are below the 200 simple moving average. That's not what we want to do. So that is the number one thing you want to look for on the 3-day chart. What's up, Jorge? Glad to see you in here, brother. We're all getting dumped on, my friend. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're getting dumped on together. Don't worry. Okay, so we talked about the 3-day. We talked about the weekly. We talked about the daily. We talked about the 12-hour. Now, shit don't phase you? Yeah, you're damn right. It doesn't phase me either. Total 2. I just tweeted this out earlier today. Let's go to my tweet real quick and we'll look at the chart. Pretty simple chart, okay? This is the total 2. Now, this has Ethereum in it. These are all the altcoins. So it's the entire cryptocurrency market cap excluding Bitcoin, okay? And I said, imagine breaking out of 602 days, guys. I really, on a day like today where there's a little bit of unexpected price action coming in, there's volatility, nothing structurally in the chart is breaking, but those human emotions take over. You get one day that is negative to the downside and the world seems like it's falling apart, which it is not. Trying to highlight that fact. What do we need to look for? And the fact that still high time frame structure is still in place. We're good. So to bring perspective to the market on a very emotional, what can be a very emotional retail sentiment at times, imagine breaking out of 602 days, okay? 1.65 years, more than a year and a half of triangular downtrend, okay? This downtrend here, right? 1.65 years, okay? Imagine breaking out of that downtrend to the upside of a bull pennant and being bearish on altcoins. Sure glad I can zoom out and see the bigger picture here. Guys, this is a bull pennant. Whether it plays out or not is another story. It's just a valid chart formation. You know, Kush and I spent some time talking about this yesterday. The whole reason I can come on here and I can state to you that this is a bull pennant, okay? And this thing here is a flag. And it gives me confidence that we have a high, see how that we have this triangular formation in here? Not only is this a falling wedge, but it's also a bull pennant. The reason that this can leave me feeling confident that the odds are in our favor, that we're going to see a break to the upside, okay? And the way that you measure that is from the point of break. You take the pole, the point of break, which is actually right there, and you say, all right, well, the target based on that is all the way up at, I mean, that seems a little outrageous, actually. Actually, I think I have this. Hold on a second. I think the way I should really draw this would be to the top here. Yeah, I should draw it to the top there. So it seems a little outrageous, though, I will say. Yeah, that gets us to 9.5 trillion. Certainly a possibility. It's on the upper end of what I would say would be my target, but certainly possible. The whole point of where I'm going with this is why does a pattern like this leave me feeling confident in terms of the most likely direction for price? It's because as a technical analyst, one of the things that you get from price data, from the history of all sorts of charts, all the charts that have ever existed in the stock market, it's the same thing that you bring into crypto. Charting crypto is the same exact thing as charting a stock. There are patterns that have historically shown themselves. They have emerged in price data. And when those patterns present themselves, they have a statistical likelihood of doing something bullish or something bearish, okay? And so when you look back in time and you evaluate a falling wedge or a bull pennant in this case, these things have a much higher statistical likelihood of breaking to the upside. It's not a guarantee. It's just there's a high statistical likelihood for it. So why would you not want to be bullish? Don't, over and over, I repeat a lot of the same things. I just need this to get ingrained in your head. Do not get caught up in the emotional feeling of the moment of a day's worth of price action. Do not allow yourself to hold on to what this correction felt like and say it's over. Don't have PTSD. If a correction caught you by surprise like it did for me, you learn something from it like we talked about yesterday, but you get right back at the charts, you evaluate what's going on, and you honestly assess the current situation for what it is. That's what you need to be doing. But right now, when we look at price action, we have had over a year and a half of consolidation. A year and a half of consolidation. And we've broken, as you can see here, we have since broken to the upside. And if I bring out another chart here, something else I would like to bring to your attention. This is a 2-week chart. Something else I want to bring to your attention. Now, this looks like it's on the weekly. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to look at. Where the heck am I at here? Where's all my areas of support and resistance? Where are we at? Oh, no. Shit, did I lose that chart? Well, that sucks. I lost my chart. Anyway, there was an area. Oh, that sucks. I think I lost my chart. Well, for the sake of conversation, let's actually look at the fact that, I mean, this is actually textbook right now. Look at what's going on right now. Let's take away this blue circle. And let's take this away and this away. Okay, this is the total altcoin market cap. What has happened? As you can see, let me take a step back and look at things through my lens, all right? This is through my eyes. resistance, 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 breakout. Now, how many times on this channel have I said that when we break out of descending resistance, what often likes to happen? What does price a lot of times like to do when it breaks downward resistance, guys? Put aside the emotions. This is resistance. We broke it. We come back and we back test this as support. We back test this as support. That is all that has happened so far. Now, when would I get bearish? This is when I would get bearish on this chart. We re-enter this pennant. If we fall back below this pennant, if we close this is a 2-week candlestick. This thing does not close until the 27th of August. We still have a week and a half. If we close in here in a week and a half, I'm bearish on this chart. Okay? Because now we've re-entered this thing. Now, if that were to happen, okay, let's theoretically say that happens. Let's say price does what I consider to be the least likely thing, and we're getting our volatility right now. Bitcoin is breaking to the downside. We'll take a look at it. So let's say this does not work as I anticipate, and I redraw the formulation, the pennant like this. Okay. Now what that's telling me is I think there's a much higher likelihood that we could break all the way down here. Okay. Now you're talking about a significant correction in the altcoin market. Not expecting it, but I would certainly look at it that way. But we have a week and a half, guys. We have a week and a half for this to play out. Let's take a look. It's not, oh, wow, we are getting we're getting our volatility wick right now. So we normally never get this level of volatility on a live stream. This is phenomenal. We're actually getting this live. All right, so I'm trying to think if we should go to a low time frame and evaluate if any bullish divergences are coming in here. We are definitely seeing a high level of volatility right now. Now, the stock, interestingly enough, I haven't been watching traditional markets today, but it's interesting. One of my observations as I'm looking at this is traditional markets did not dump hard today. So there wasn't anything going on in traditional markets where we were dumping hard. The dollar the DXY was relatively flat today. It was actually slightly down, and yet we're still seeing this high level of volatility. Before we get to Bitcoin, let's get to, oh boy, there's so many charts we could be looking at right now. This is great. Well, not the kind of action I was anticipating for when we got some volatility on the live stream, but I'll take it because, guys, it has been one boring-ass market. I've commented on that. It's hard to keep engagement when you have a boring-ass market like that. So right now, okay, now this is a 2-week chart on Ethereum. Main thing I'm watching for, I mean, you can draw this a couple different ways. The point is you could be more aggressive and draw it like this. This is an ascending triangle that I've spoken to here. This ascending line, the key is drawing this line. You want to touch here. You want at least one touch here and a touch here. Now you can be more aggressive and you can draw this line just like this, or you can be more conservative and draw it like that. Either way, the main thing I'm looking at is, and again, this is a 2-week chart. What I want to see on this chart in a week and a half, guys, we have a week and a half. I just want to see this formation hold. That's all I want to see hold. Now, the other thing that I want to look at, let's look at how the weekly view is looking. I should have made a copy of this chart because now I think I overrode some of my original views that I had. Oh, I mean, guys, look, this is a weekly. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. No one does. But this, to me, looks, we are watching live price retest this 50 and 200 simple moving average that are kissing right now. This is a moment right now in the market, and in my opinion, a prime opportunity if the markets are going where I believe they are going right now, because you are literally getting Ethereum coming right back to this 250 simple moving average. This is actually really exciting, because what I will anticipate for this week and what I believe will play out is we're going to hold this line by Sunday's close at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This, to me, is a awesome opportunity. You're actually getting volatility going below the 200 simple moving average right now. This is actually really exciting. I think we will look back on this moment as a very big opportunity to reaccumulate some Ethereum. We're sitting right now at $1,600, guys. $1,600. We went as low as like $1,545. That's crazy. We'll have to see where the dust settles on today. But the main thing to keep in mind is this is a weekly chart, and the main thing you want to watch for on Ethereum is making sure that we close on the weekly, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to close above $1,600. Close above $1,600 and we're fine. We're going to have to change this into red areas of resistance. What other charts can we look at? There's some really good volatility coming in right now. What else? Bitcoin. I kind of want to get back to Bitcoin, actually. Well, we just hit 26,300. We just hit the area we literally just provided here in terms of an area of support that we want to see hold. What about the daily? We're through the 200 simple moving average. Now, this is a critical view right here, because we just spoke about the fact that we do not want to close a daily candlestick below the 200 simple moving average on the daily, right? We got 2 hours, guys. We have just over 2 hours to push this thing back above 27,300. Okay? We need to see a sharp response from the bulls here. You do not want a daily candlestick to look like this. You do not want to close a daily candlestick like this. So I want to see a strong reaction to get back up to 27,300. We're going to have to see how the day closes, but getting a lot of volatility now. And the weekly, same thing with the weekly. Like, this looks frightening, but the reality is, and thumbs up for everyone new tuning in, the reality is, guys, track, my friend. Do not sweat this, my friend. Josh, let's fucking go. Track, these are the times where you become battle tested, my friend. Been here for way too, as I always say, been here for way too long for this to shake me one bit. Now, the key thing on the weekly, guys, if this candlestick closed like this today on the weekly, this would be definitively bearish. But guess what? We have Friday, we got Saturday, we got Sunday. This is a weekly candlestick. Let's just close above the level we just spoke to, 27,400. All right. Right now, you're seeing a lot of volatility re-enter this market. We spoke about the historic low level of volatility that has been in this market for way too long, and prices are responding accordingly right now to the downside. So the weekly chart, again, I would not reopen the weekly chart until Sunday. And the main thing you want to watch for on Sunday is get back above the 200 simple moving average. The daily, you want to keep an eye on this today, all right? And I more than likely will keep you guys updated after dinner, just kind of taking a look at price action to see what we have going on. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Appreciate it. Live crash analysis. Guys, just to let you know, I'm looking at prices right now, and it is definitely significant given that Bitcoin is down, the level it's down, but we're not crashing. I just want everyone to know I've been here for much worse price responses. So now, but again, if we On a daily closing basis, though, if we start closing below the 200 simple moving average, that is not a good thing. It's just, it would be very bearish, and the simple moving average would act as a area of resistance. So the bulls need to step in here and get this price back above 27,300. That is the main price you guys want to watch for today. 27,300. Hey, XRP fans, XRP community. If you didn't check out the XRP video because it did not get a lot of engagement, look what we just did. We actually went lower than what I had spoken to. Wow, that is a hell of a move. Wow, that is not good for XRP that we actually... You know, the thing I actually don't like about this chart, this is a 3-day on XRP. The thing I don't like about this chart is that we spoke about this on another chart, but you see how the volume came in here right at the start of this move and we pushed all the way up here? We literally retraced that entire move and went below this green candlestick. That is bearish, in my opinion. And we actually went below all of the price areas that I spoke to. I said, if you'll remember, in the TA video, I spoke to 58 and 54 as my main areas, and I said we could even go as low as 49.5 at the 200 simple moving average. We could look for a possible retest there. We've actually gone below that, okay? But this is why I had considered putting out a video titled in my thumbnail that the XRP community is killing XRP because I have not, and I'm a fan. I'm actually a fan of the project for those who have been here for a while, fan of Ripple and what they're doing with payment remittances and XRP. But I cannot stand the amount of hype that's in that community at times. Like there are people in the space that literally I feel like they leech on people's emotions and put out XRP going to $100 next year and all this bullshit. And so when you try to put out a sensical TA video, it doesn't get a lot of attention because the videos that get the attention are the hype. So this is reality, folks. And we actually went lower than I was anticipating. That is not bullish. Definitely was not expecting to see XRP go that low, but welcome to crypto. Let's go to the weekly. And I bet you XLM at this point has definitely pulled back to the 10-cent level I had spoken to, huh? We'll take a look. We can take a look at that. Where is XLM at, actually? Did it pull back to 10 cents? Or is it below? No, we're at 11.4. All right. Yeah, so right now, and again, the main thing you want to watch for, I mean, this is out of play. The main thing you want to watch for on XRP, okay, for everyone who holds XRP, what do you think I'm going to say on the weekly? The 200 simple moving average. You just want to make sure, okay, we could close this week and you could get a wick that is comprised of all this price action and we could care less, right? But you don't want to close the week and have this thick of a red body. We need to close, for XRP fans, okay, for everyone who is an investor in the project, you want to see XRP this week. We're not talking about today. We're not talking about tomorrow. In the words of Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice now. These are serious times right now, so I'll try and cut the jokes. I know everybody's emotional right now, but on a serious note, there is no reason to get emotional. There's nothing structurally that I'll say this again. There is nothing structurally that has broken on the charts, and I've given you key levels to watch for on Bitcoin. So all joking aside, remain calm and evaluate those price areas that we spoke about on Bitcoin. Now, for XRP, the main price level that you want to watch for price to close above this week is the 200 simple moving average, and that is at 51.8 cents. So you really want to see XRP close the week at about 52 cents. Crazy, right? Crazy to think we were all the way up here nearly at $1. We went up to 93 cents. And now we went all the way down to 44 cents. I mean, that is, again, this is why I say over and over again, the majority of people who attempt to day trade this market and think they can outsmart it will get their asses handed to themselves. You want to use technical analysis to aid your ability to know when to buy into sensible areas. And unless if something fundamentally changes, like fundamentally changes on higher time frames, You're convicted and you're continuing to scale in at sensical levels. People who are trying to flip these projects over the course of a day or two, most of you are just going to lose. That's the reality. And I'm, I really am putting all kidding aside and trying to emphasize this point. Let today be a reminder of the following. This is a daily Bitcoin chart. If you were buying in this area, all of this price action, okay? This is a reality check for everybody. If you were buying in all of this price action that I spoke to, which was a generational buy opportunity, where were you buying Bitcoin? Between 20,000, 21,000, and 15,000. Now, if you bought Bitcoin all in this price area between 21 and 15,000, are you not still up on your investment at 26,400 and you're not losing your shit, right? But if all you're doing is you are buying with emotion and you're buying as Bitcoin is running up here and you're gobbling it up, you get salty here, we run up and you start buying it up here. Well, yeah, now maybe you're flat on your investment or you're slightly down, right? You can't chase the trend and you can't buy based on emotion. You want to use technical analysis, okay? You want to use technical analysis to aid your ability in buying in at sensical levels. And that's why this price action shouldn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, you shouldn't be sweating this. If you're zoomed out on a higher time frame, you're using the weekly chart. You know what you're looking for on the weekly. Yes, we're seeing a lot of volatility to the downside, but we know on a weekly chart, ultimately, I don't really care what's going on today or tomorrow. I just want this thing to close by Sunday at 27,400, right? You zoom out. You look at a total 2 chart. Total 2 chart is just broken out of a massive falling wedge and a bull pennant and has literally just back tested the downward prior trend of downward area of resistance and has bounced off it currently as support. This is a 2-week chart. We still have a lot higher week and a half to go here. So nothing overly concerning. And I've given you guys the key areas of price confluence to watch for on Bitcoin. And really what I would do for your own benefit, I know a lot of you, let me offer some suggestions right now since we're getting a lot of this volatility and really take a moment to speak to this because I know for newer investors who are in this market, this type of price action can be very scary. It can be very emotional. You can get a little nervous about what you're holding, right? Especially altcoins, because altcoins, I hold a lot of altcoins, and your altcoins, they're going to express a higher degree of volatility to the downside and the upside, right? I believe it would strongly benefit you. Please listen to what I'm about to share with you. I believe it would strongly benefit you to pay the most attention to the most important charts and keep it simple for yourself over these next several days. Okay, over this course of this next week, pay attention to the most important charts. And what would be the most important charts on crypto? Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can also take a look at the total market cap as well. Just pay attention to Bitcoin. And you can pay attention to Ethereum, perhaps the total market cap, maybe just Bitcoin and Ethereum though. Pay attention and know what is going on in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum still have that higher time frame, bullish structure intact, we're fine, we're okay. Just keep it simple for yourself. If you're evaluating a altcoin that has a market cap within the top 500, it's ranked 555, the level of volatility on that thing is going to be astronomical. In this type of situation, I think it would more so benefit you to just pay attention to Bitcoin and Ethereum as long as the bullish structure is intact. We're still doing the higher highs, higher lows. We're not losing key moving averages on a closing basis. We're going to be okay. We're fine. So just keep that in mind for your own benefit. Josh, I'll have to look into that. Cardano is looking bad. We'll take a look at it. Nah, Track, again, I think track, if you haven't, and I haven't specifically spoken to this. I don't know if I have, but I would. It would benefit you to evaluate some of the conversations surrounding the Bitcoin halving cycles and the liquidity cycle. Take a look at something called the Everything Code from Raul. Raul Paul does the Everything Code, and take a look at some of the items that TechDev52 points out with liquidity cycles and the halving. And again, I would just point back to broader TA analysis that supports the view that I have going into the end of this year and next year, and not just rely solely on this 4-year premise. I would strongly encourage you to do that. Cardano, let's take a look at Cardano. All right, how bad did Cardano get? Oh, well, it's not bad. What is it down? It's down 9% with the rest of the market. I mean, the chart doesn't look stellar. We're just kind of hanging out here in no man's land. The only way I would get really concerned about Cardano at this point is if we break this low here at 22 cents. So for everyone out there who holds Cardano, your line in the sand is 22 cents. As long as we don't break 22 cents, we're fine, because we're not creating new lows. This thing has come down to 24 cents. We're still 10% above this low here. I don't suspect that we're going to go below 22 cents. Anything is possible. It certainly could happen. I'm not guaranteeing you guys anything. But I wouldn't suspect that we're going to go below 22 cents. Josh, I'm not gonna disagree with you, man. The funny thing is, again, when you've been here long enough, it's like there is smart money and dumb money, right? I think the main thing you want to do, and I think Josh, you're raising a good point, a good theory. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm actually using that as a talking point about what I want to say. There's smart money and there's dumb money. And you want to make sure that you're exercising all the due diligence you can to make sure you're not part of the dumb money. And the main thing that makes people dumb money is exercising emotion over logic. I clearly went through 4 charts with Bitcoin, and those are the things I would focus on: the 12-hour, the daily, 3-day, and weekly. And I spoke to several different price zones, okay? The main zone I spoke to was between that 27,500 and 27,000, I think 300 or 200, right in that $27,000 zone. That's really the meat and potatoes. That's really where we need price to hold, depending what time frame you're looking at, right? The weekly, the daily. That's really the main price area. So it'll be very interesting to see where price closes today. Again, I'm going to break and go make dinner, but when I'm done doing dinner, I have a TA video I wanted to release on Caspa, so I'm going to be working on that. But I'm also going to obviously be keeping an eye on these markets. If you're following me on Twitter, I will keep everyone updated in terms of what's going on with the price action. I guess I shouldn't say Twitter anymore. It's X, whatever the hell the case is. But make sure you follow my updates. I will be on top of the market after dinner. And I will also be on top of price action early tomorrow morning when I get up first thing at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So stay patient, stay unemotional, stay grounded. And again, just focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the best thing I could offer to you in terms of assessing the overall health of the market. Really, remain unemotional. When you start to get emotional, you make, think about anything in life. When you've gotten super emotional about something, there's a basic premise that as your emotion goes up, your intellect goes down, okay? You want to balance those things. You want your emotion even keel so your intellect is high. You don't want to make a stupid decision because of your emotions, right? Stay calm. Everything is fine. If something changes structurally in these charts that we've spoken about and things start to look bearish and there's something unexpected happening in the charts, I am going to be one of the first people to come out here and share that with you. I've shared with you a few warning flags. We spoke about the weekly, we spoke about the daily. We get this weekly candlestick closing below 27,400. I would not be happy about that. Okay, so that's something we'd have to keep an eye on, right? You can see we did it here, and we had some sharp volatility. Looks like when we closed here below, we had an additional move down. It was only 4.5%. But the point is, you don't want to see weekly price action close below the 200 because all you're doing is inviting higher probabilities of further downside. Now, the 200 should act as resistance, right? Now, here we close right back above it. But I don't want to see this thing close below 27,400. If it does, it's a big caution flag to me. So we'll have to keep an eye on price, remain level-headed. I will be updating everybody later on this evening, and I should be back for the live stream tomorrow. Quick announcement, which is I am traveling for business next week. So I do not anticipate doing the live stream next week. If I do the live stream next week, I'm going to bring my laptop with I'm going to bring my laptop with me. If I am able to do the live stream, it would be like 1 or 2 evenings. I'll try my best. No promises. But I will certainly be on top of the markets as much as I can. So hang in there, everybody. The sky is not falling, okay? Don't be Chicken Little. Until next time, spread awareness. Let's all carry the education forward. Have a good evening. I'll keep everyone updated. Hang in there, everybody.